The Euphoric Brothers just dropped the Garten of Banban 6 trailer. What's going on, guys? My name is Mason Geese, and as you guys know, I'm a bit of a Banban tuber. I actually really do like Garten of Banban, so anytime the Euphoric Brothers drop a trailer, I try to react to it and talk about it. And with all of the stuff going on with Garten of Banban 5 and 6, there's a lot to talk and think about. Real quick, if you guys usually watch my channel, you might notice that there hasn't been a lot of uploads lately. That's because I've been working my butt off on my brand new game, Indigo Park. That's been taking up most of my time. I'm not going to sit here and try to plug it all day, but there is a brand new trailer coming in the next couple of weeks, so be sure to subscribe here for that. Before we get into the video itself, I want to take a look at the thumbnail. From the looks of it, we're dealing with Sheriff Toadster's jail here. Clearly a bit darker, which is kind of cool to see a little bit more of a dramatic shot, especially in the thumbnails for these. Banbalina and Slow Celine are in the same cell here, and I think that's just for the framing of the thumbnail, but we'll have to see with the trailer. So right off the bat, it looks like we are in Sheriff Toadster's jail. Let's go and get into it. Okay. Oh, okay, wait. So it looks like someone, I think normally that's either the audio log button or the jail button, like the door. I'm not really sure. Okay, so someone's going and pressing all the buttons. Yeah, it looks like, well, let's see. Okay, so it looks like it's the audio log button. I can't remember if there was like two separate buttons, but that's clearly an audio sign, so they're playing the audio log. But maybe that opens the doors if you hit all of them, maybe? I'm not sure. Anyway, they're opening the doors. Someone's setting all the monsters free. Now, I don't really remember what Sheriff Toadster said at the end of chapter 4. Did he say that they've all escaped? Because I remember he grabbed Stinger Flynn. I don't really remember. I'll have to go back and listen. Okay, there goes Slow Celine, like a freaking bullet. Okay, knocking down a light. God damn, she's strong. Okay, so there's the bowling pin for Banbalina stuff. Okay. And it looks like we're seeing Opila here. Yeah, we might have to brighten up some of these images. That might be the move. And then we got Jumbo Josh. It looks like he's breaking out of the chains. I think that's what they're trying to show. Okay. Garten of Banban 6. Again, weird that there's something going on with 5. There's definitely something like secretive going on with 5. For sure. Okay. And I would bet that this has to do with 5. What did that say? My fight is not with you. This is your only warning. So I think I'll talk about this in a minute, but let's try to break down what's going on with 6. It looks like they're just showing everyone escaping. The fact that they show the button press kind of tells me that, like, hey, someone is setting them free. It's not like, oh, they broke out of the glass or whatever. Someone is intentionally setting them free, which is pretty cool, I think. There was a couple shots I thought maybe we should brighten up just to see if there's anything hidden. Yeah, like this one here, where we see, I believe that's either Opila or Tarta's beak right there. But there's this giant black spot. So I'm gonna screenshot it and we're gonna brighten that baby up. It doesn't look like they're hiding anything. Yeah, just some artifacting. So unless like the YouTube compression killed whatever they were trying to hide, it doesn't really look like they're trying to hide anything in the darkness. Interesting though. So yeah, I mean, I guess the plot here is that someone set them free. So real quick, I want to listen back. So I pulled up my playthrough of Garten of Banban 4. I want to listen back to what Sheriff Toadster says about the rest of them. Or the rest of the inmates, or whatever he called them. I've let the other prisoners go, but grabbed this one. Okay, so what we're seeing at the beginning of this trailer is, in fact, Sheriff Toadster letting him out. Which is interesting to me. Like, why did he let him out? It's clearly like an important event. So that's almost leading me to believe that maybe Sheriff Toadster has some more like malice and is going to be a little bit more of an enemy compared to what we originally thought. It's just weird to me how much focus this trailer is putting in on hey, someone's pressing these buttons. There's some, like, these buttons they're not showing the doors opening and them walking out. They're showing the buttons being pressed and then the doors opening, which does lead me to believe that Sheriff Toadster is the one that, like, right now we're seeing through his perspective, which would make sense to me. But I mean, other than that, we just have the Garten of Banban 6 trailer that they dropped whenever Garten of Banban 5 came out. And I mean, that just shows, you know, the naughty ones escaping from Queen Bouncelia's pouch. And I don't think it really shows anything else. I mean, that's just kind of setting up like, hey, this is going to be a big event. But what I want to focus on, I guess, for the rest of this is what's going on with the text at the end and what's going on with Banban 5. This is using a ton of chromatic aberration, which I think is probably going to be a pretty telling detail of who exactly is talking here. My fight is not with you. This is your only warning. Just something about the way that this text is being treated with the chromatic aberration, with the glitchiness. It's something that we haven't really seen in Banban yet. So that leads me to believe that we're either dealing with a new character or we're dealing with a character that we've seen but don't know anything about. An example of this could be Zolphius. I mean, there's signs pointing to Zolphius having some bigger connection. The fact that he's been shown a ton, but we haven't really heard anything from him besides like Banban trying to give Mr. Kebab Man to him. But what I want to kind of touch on is what I've talked about at the end of my playthrough of Banban 4, is my thoughts on Banban 5. I genuinely think what this message is trying to do is tease Banban 5 without making like a Banban 5 trailer. I think it's going to be significant to Banban 5 in some way. So pulling up the Steam page for Garten of Banban 5, I've kind of broken this down a little bit already, but just off of the screenshots of the game, it does seem like we're dealing with potentially some kind of like horror remake or like dream sequence coming from Banban 1. A couple notable things detail-wise that I was able to kind of pick up on and notice with it. A lot of the messages are different. So for example, the one that I kind of saw and that everyone I think was pointing to was Banban says, sharing is caring, what's yours is mine. That is something that in the first Banban game, that's where the pancreas joke came in. And then similar here, this didn't previously say meet a friend day. I think it might have said bring a friend day. I don't really remember. I'm a little bit like foggy on my Banban lore. I've had other stuff that I've been thinking about. But I guess the point here is something's different. So either this is a dream sequence, something crazy is going on hallucinating wise, or what's also possible is this is a different time. This could be from the perspective of an employee, or it could be from the perspective of a child, the daycare. You know, it could be a different time, or it could be like a different universe. It could be a dream sequence. There's something going on here with Banban 5 that they're trying not to elaborate on. What I hope this is a scarier version of Banban. I guess that's kind of rich coming from the guy who made Reincarnated, and that was like my project. But that's what it seems like they're doing. I really would like to see their take on making like a darker themed game. And I think we kind of get that because we get this character with the floating head. If I remember correctly, there was some documentation in the last Banban game about like a character with a giant head or something. I don't know if that was in reference to Zolphius or if it's in reference to this new character. But I do find it interesting that there's a lot of focus on this character because you think this is the only time you see it, but he's also like the main mascot of Banban 5. His color is also used in the 5. So similar to other Banban games, I would assume that he's going to play like an integral role of this, you know, with Jumbo Josh being the big bad of 1, Banban kind of being introduced and used a lot in 2. 3 is where we saw like the Stinger Flynn dream sequences. 4 was a lot with Sheriff Toadster. I think whenever 5 does come out, he's going to play a very big role. So kind of looking at the imagery we have here, there's not as much like chromatic aberration. So that kind of leads me to believe that maybe this message isn't from this new character, but there is a lot of graininess with a little bit of that red coloring. So I think it's still reasonable to assume that the message is coming from him and that these games are connected in some way. There is chromatic aberration here, but this like pixelation seems semi-similar to what they were doing in the screenshots. And it does seem like red might be the predominant color that's being pulled from the chromatic aberration, but I'm not 100% sure on that. My theory from the end of my Banban 4 playthrough that to me makes the most sense is that Banban 4 is going to basically be a dream sequence that Stinger Flynn puts you in to show you something. What's kind of off-putting from that is, again, like the use of chromatic aberration isn't as big here. You'll notice that most of the time whenever you're in a dream with Stinger Flynn, so for example, the famous car scene, look at this like 3D effect. That's called chromatic aberration if you didn't know. That's what I'm talking about here. This is super dramatic, and it's the same effect that we do see on the text back here. And what made logical sense to me was, oh, Sheriff Toadster grabbed Stinger Flynn. You're going down into Banban 6, but before you get into Banban 6, Stinger Flynn is like, hey, I got to show you something. And he shows you and you play through Banban 5. That's what made sense to me, was that Banban 5 would be like a dream sequence type thing with Stinger Flynn, because they're kind of setting up like Stinger Flynn's here and this is happening right before you get into Banban 6. But I really don't know. I think there's a lot that they can do. Again, you don't really see this chromatic aberration, but like look at the red here. The way that red is like distorted feels really similar to what they're doing in like these screenshots. I do think that in some way the text is relating to Banban 5. Do I really have any proof of that? No, but it would make sense. I will say Banban is really good at like throwing curveballs, especially with the Stinger Flynn stuff. So it would not shock me if out of nowhere this had like nothing to do with the trailer or anything. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I know I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to play Banban 5 and 6 the second they come out over on Twitch and play it here on the channel. Big thank you to our patrons on the screen. I promise, guys, there is more videos coming. I've just been so busy with school and Indigo Park. Anyway, guys, I'll see you around. Take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend. Oh my God, it's Friday.